It takes a while to get to the last free place in America. 140 miles east of San Diego, farmland turns to dusty towns, which turn to parched desert land. This guard post tells us we're close. This whole place used to be a military base. They left concrete slabs, giving RVs a place to park and inspiring the city's name. Soon you start to see Slab City's makeshift homes. Some come here to escape society. Some are destitute.
You'll see when we pull the ropes up.
And every year, this motley community does the unlikeliest thing. They throw a prom. They say they do it because so many of them didn't go to their own prom.
It doesn't matter how you got here. We're just very happy that you came.
Earlier that day, Bill Ammon is setting up for the big night.
Well, it's all trial and error. But
He goes by Builder Bill. His wife has been gathering dresses from thrift stores for people to borrow. 16 years ago, Builder Bill was working construction in San Diego. Jobs dried up. Soon he was living out of his van. He calls Slab City the end of the rope.
you can retreat and you can retreat and you can retreat, and then there's just one last little knot on the end of the rope. That's Slab City. There might be some Baileys left over there, though.
But he says Slab City is also freedom. Freedom from rent or loans, freedom from zoning laws, and freedom from harassment.
Slab City, you can just sit down and occupy a spot on the planet without any debt, indebtedness, persecution.
Of course, freedom has a price. There's no electricity here, no water, no sewer system. It may be free, but it's also free from garbage pickup.
It's just a piece of useless, unwanted, unusable desert. And that's why we've been allowed to be here all these years.
All right.
The state of California owns this land. No one really knows how much it would cost to clean up the place. There may also be munitions and military waste buried out here. The federal government is looking into that now. The state is open to selling the land, and for the first time, Slab City residents are applying to buy it.
I got to thinking, well, if the state's getting ready to unhorse this land, we all depend on this place. And so I took a pretty big alarm and said, hey, we got to do something. You know, I get to sling the mud.
Builder Bill helped form a community group. Slab resident Lynn Bright put together the application to buy the land. She says they need to preserve Slab City from outside development.
If we do nothing and don't organize, then who's the head that's going to pop up and say, hey, wait a minute, not here? Who's going to do that? Nobody.
It's not clear who would want to buy and develop this land, but the mere threat of a sale has shifted the thinking out here. By organizing to save Slab City, some are worried they'll lose the thing that has made it a refuge for so many, the freedom.
I always stay at the top here just to make sure I have my bearings.
Gary Brown came to Slab City 7 years ago. He took a sabbatical from the IT industry. When he tried to re-enter in 2008 at age 56, it was tough.
Who wants to hire an old, ugly old man when you can get a kid from Mumbai for $25?
Brown devised a way to live in the desert year-round. He built an insulated room inside his RV where he can control the temperature. He calls it the Cool Cube.
And this cool tropical breeze just washes all over my body, and it becomes a Zen-like experience.
Brown is adamantly against Slab residents organizing to purchase the land. He says that would bring the one thing Slabbers fear most, a landlord.
If this place has to submit to building codes, the slabs goes away.
Brown wants the slabs to be there for people who hit rock bottom, including those fighting mental illness.
So that the really crazy people can at least fit in and live. And I think that's important. Went a long way to slaying my demons.
But Bright says it's time to take responsibility of the land.
Yep, we're going to have to help in a positive way in terms of cleanup. We're going to have to engage with different levels of government.
She says they have no intention of charging rent. It was her late husband and builder Bill who came up with the tagline, "The last free place in America."
We're going to have to grow up and still maintain somehow the last free place in America.
Later at the Slab City Prom, no one is thinking about land sales. There's a new prom king and queen.
This year's prom king and queen.
It will be months before the state decides whether to sell them this land. This poor community will then have to raise the money to buy it, which leaves the future of Slab City uncertain. But one thing is for certain. At this same time next year, they hope to be here at prom, wearing borrowed dresses, smiling for photos, and dancing under a desert sky. Drive past Slab City's piles of abandoned trash, empty lots, and old trailers, and you eventually end up at East Jesus.
If you follow me this way, I'll show you our Zen garden.
It's a special night, the annual celebration of East Jesus' founder. The night begins with gluing trash to planks of wood.
Anybody else need a screw gun? Sure.
They call it the Art Slam.
It is a valid stylistic choice, and I approve.
Jen Nelson has lived at East Jesus for over a year. She's the curator.
And so one of the things that we're looking at here, one of the things that we really engage in is how can we take what would go in a landfill, either make it useful again, or make it enhance our lives in another way through the creation of art.
Art and sustainability are central to the East Jesus philosophy. You see it everywhere. There's trash hanging from trees and walls built out of old bottles. Nothing's off limits for reuse. The wood planks from the Art Slam will go on this tower. It will become part of the East Jesus Sculpture Garden. The whole place is the vision of this guy, a Burning Man regular named Charlie Russell. Russell was known for hanging out naked. He died of a heart attack in 2011.
When Charlie Russell first came out to the slabs, this was the messiest, most trash-strewn corner. It is the furthest corner.
Russell invited artists to make work for the garden. This piece is made out of recycled tires. This one out of chicken wire and plastic bags.
Charlie took an abandoned field of trash and turned it into a place for contemporary art.
There's no shortage of trash in Slab City. Artist Jessie the Elder is passing through. She took that name when she was 16 because she wanted to be taken more seriously.
Everyone litters here. It's like a junkyard.
She found this t-shirt among the trash and plans to wear it.
I'm going to wash this in the canal later.
She finds Slab City and East Jesus inspiring.
It's incredible. The people here are extraordinary and they're really free. They have a lot of space to be creative.
Resourcefulness extends beyond art at East Jesus. They live off the grid. There's no running water, electricity, or sewer system. They recycle their own waste, and they grow most of their own food.
We try to focus on things that are either exotic varieties or very efficient varieties, sometimes both, and things that we're getting the most nutritional value of for the water we're using.
Like Slab City, East Jesus residents are squatting on state-owned land. When word got out the state wanted to sell the land, Nelson set up a nonprofit and put in an application to buy it. She's worried a solar or geothermal company will try and get there first.
And we're not going to wait until the bulldozers show up. This means too much.
It will take months before the state decides whether to sell, and then East Jesus residents will have to raise money to purchase the land. After the sun goes down, the sculpture garden comes to life.
We are going to marry a man, going to marry a man. The man will be rich, the man will say bitch.
The evening's entertainment includes 3 costume women from Amsterdam. The band is called Snow Apple.
Oh, darling, marry me soon, darling, marry me soon. Oh, darling, marry me soon, darling, marry me soon.
If you feel like mind coming forward and grabbing a chocolate martini? Non-alcoholic is over here.
Dessert is a chocolate martini, Charlie Russell's signature drink.
To the First Church of the Chocolate Martini and Charlie Russell.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention turn behind you, we'll now have the ceremonial lighting of the barbecue.
In case you didn't hear that, Nelson said barbecue, as in lighting a car on fire. The switch for the flamethrower is a plastic baby doll.
Squeeze the baby!
After a few failed attempts, the old car goes up in flames. It burns for a while, mesmerizing the crowd. Then, nearby Nyland's fire truck arrives, a stark reminder of the outside world. The same outside world threatening the future of East Jesus.
East Jesus has a larger message of hope and living within the future that we've created for ourselves. It has a larger message about sustainability, about art, about who we are as people. And that's what we can't afford to lose.